Attending to be asleep saved my life, part 2 or something like that, and I came back to my senses. I heard my heart beating at a speed I had never felt, not even in my physical education classes. I suppose my instinct told me, go back to your room right now, or you will die. Without thinking, I obeyed. I returned to my room more cautiously than I had left, struggling to breathe, and my heart was racing. I stood there, staring at a fixed point. Not thinking about anything, once again, paralyzed. My brain once again released one of those discharges when I heard the heartbeat stop. I shuddered at that moment, feeling that pretending to be asleep was the best option. So I quietly climbed into bed and closed my eyes. I could feel my heart beating at a speed, I repeat, I had never felt before. The beats echoed in my head until I heard the footsteps again. At that moment, I felt my ears sharpen to try to figure out the exact position of the stranger. I noticed that he was heading towards my room. I didn't open my eyes, even though I was facing away from the door, but I felt that he was there, looking at me, standing at the doorway. I wanted to cry and scream, but I couldn't. My most primal instincts took over my body at that moment. After a few long seconds of agony, I heard footsteps going downstairs. I didn't move or open my eyes. As I mentioned, I couldn't. I heard footsteps downstairs, and after no more than a minute, I heard them coming up the stairs again, this time more slowly. I didn't understand why. I assumed he was coming from the living room, based on the steps I had heard. I quickly realized that he was inside my room, not just at the door but inside. I heard the steps behind me, knew that he was there, 3 feet away. I could feel his presence in his breathing, slightly accelerated but calm. I realized he left the room and went to my parents' room, came back, and this time, I noticed his breathing was heavier, as if he was exerting himself. This repeated 2 more times. I remained completely still, not moving, and my brain showed me the layout of the house, and by the footsteps, I knew where the stranger was all the time. I developed powers, obviously caused by adrenaline. It's true what they say, in moments like this, we truly see the human in its purest state. A dense silence filled the room. I was in the room, still feeling his presence, knowing he was watching me, feeling it. I realized he approached me. Again, I heard his breathing right behind me. Suddenly, I heard how he touched or caressed the wall of my room, which had a rough texture, popular in Spain a few years ago. After listening to this sound for a while, I heard him leave the room and go downstairs. I heard him enter the living room and heard nothing more. I stayed motionless, with my eyes closed, not sleeping, not knowing how much time had passed. It had been a long time since I heard any footsteps or any indication that someone else was in the house. With a racing heart, I gathered the courage and slowly opened my eyes. I saw the light blue wall of my room clearly. It was daytime. But the sun had not yet risen. I guessed it was around 7 or 8 in the morning. I stared at the wall with my eyes open for a long time. I didn't want to leave the bed. I didn't want to check if everything had been a dream or if it was real. Everything was strange. By this time, my parents would already be having breakfast and chatting. I gathered courage once more and decided to turn around to see my parents' bodies, completely mutilated, covered in wounds and blood. Their faces were unrecognizable, and their limbs hung by threads of red. This image haunts me to this day. I let out a scream that I had been holding since it all began, and I started to cry. I was terrified, couldn't stop crying, drowning in my own mucus and tears. The bedroom floor was covered in blood. I realized this as I wiped my tears away, in vain because they kept falling. I noticed something hard on the bedsheet. It was my phone. Still there, exactly where I had left it. I picked it up and, as I tried to get out of bed, I saw what still traumatizes me and haunts me to this day, a chilling message written on the blue textured wall with my parents' blood. It said, "I know you were awake, the dot.